everybody and welcome to this playthrough for Expert Division in the St. Patrick's Tournament. The video here is sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic. And before we start, don't forget to click that button in the bottom right corner and become a subscriber. Also visit golfclashtommy.com that had recently gone through a complete remake. Check out Wind Chart Tool, which is going to definitely help you if you're not using an application to adjust for your wind. Also, subscribe and get the best guides on the market on patreon.com/golfclashtommy. Check it out. In this playthrough, you will see my shot and my shots only here in Expert. You will see different alternatives for some holes. You will see me playing with some special balls as well, to just trying to use a setup that will be both for lower level clubs but also for higher level clubs, and obviously something in between. Make sure that you give me feedback in the comment section below and also questions what you think about this playthrough. Use the info box on the right hand side, which will give you the elevation adjustment for the drive and also for the second shot. Also then the club and the ball that I do think is going to be the most valuable for that particular hole. So in the end, let's go. Hole number 1. For hole number 1, it's not necessary to play with a Kingmaker, but we do want to have at least power 3, wind 3. That's kind of what we're looking for. We are going to play with half a bar of topspin, 1 bar side spin to the right, and then we're looking for the second bounce. The second bounce we want to have in between the dark green square row and the bright green square row, and that is going to be very important. And then the blue ring just by the rough line, also very important. And as you can see, I play with a mummy ball, so the only thing that I'm focusing on is to get the power 3 together with at least wind 3. So Centurion, Mummy, Vintage, there is plenty of other balls that do have that type of stat. Unfortunately, we hit great right, and that's gonna make us miss right hand side. We will be coming in a teeny tiny bit hot, but that's the best way, in my opinion, to play hole 1. A great left would be trouble some of the times, but have in mind as well that no matter what type of approach you're having on this course here, we do want to be able to go for the hole in 1, and then a great left always going to be a bit difficult. For hole number 2, we are going to first and foremost go right hand side here. 5 bars of topspin and as much side spin to the right possible. And that's going to leave us to play with the white ring just inside the rough there to the right. Instead of leaving just a tiny bit there by the rough line, like in terms of looking at the top of the ball guideline, leave at least a little bit more room from the rough, because with a great left here, we're going to have an issue, and that's not an issue that we do want to experience. Maximum distance with a 10% over adjustment. Once we are done, we're not going to push up to max, we're just going to take our shot, because we don't want to go too far after with our drive here, because if we go too far we might roll into the rough, because you're gonna see here now we're gonna bounce on the fairway, being super duper close on the rough there, and then roll down the hill and gonna find ourselves in a very nice distance here, and that distance is going to be 364 yards. For the second shot, I would like you to play with the Hornet, and the reason I want you to play with the Hornet is because with a lower level Thorn, you won't be having enough topspin, because we do want to play with 4 bars of topspin, letting the ball guideline go through the hole, and as you can see, half of the blue ring inside on the fairway and then the rest into the rough. And here I make a mistake. I do think that we should be playing it more than what it looks, so I play this one maximum distance with a 10% over adjustment. And the thing that you need to do is that you need to play it based on your club range. So 75% of your club, so in between mid and max, with a 10% over adjustment, and then you're gonna be way closer than we are there. But good shot though. In the lead of using more upgraded clubs here in Expert, I'm going to show you a shot that is possible to make with an Apocalypse level 6+. Otherwise, don't attempt to do this shot. Max topspin and as much side spin to the left possible. Stretch out your club so you can see the ball guideline pointing straight down the little fairway island on the top right. Then you adjust max plus 10 and go max over power and try to hit perfect. And obviously, playing with an Apocalypse level 7, level 8 is an advantage to Apocalypse level 6. But the result with Apocalypse level 6 will be similar as we do get out there to the Faroe Island. I would like us to have minimum 11 in wind. If we do have lower than that, I would maybe, try to play according to the first alternative. But, the beautiful part with this type of shot, if we can manage to do this correctly, is that we do have a wedge towards the pin. And from this range here now, as you can see, I played 10 rings with an Endbringer level 8. So 10 rings for 13.5 miles per hour. And in the end, this is not an easy wedge, but we will have to have in mind here, though, that the drive is a drive that will not be super duper consistent for us. We cannot get to green. That's not gonna be a possibility because we don't have enough topspin, we don't have enough tailwind. But at least wanted to add this one here for hole number 2. So for those of you that just want to just go full blast and then play with as a best outcome a wedge, then this is the way for you to play. For hole number 3, I'm going to show you 2 drives. One where we're going to go full blast. And the reason I want to show you this one with an extra mile level 8 is that you will have to understand that with an extra mile level 8 or below, we should not attempt this type of drive. And the reason being is like we're going to be so extremely close of not making it over the rough. And if we don't make over the rough, then we will, sure, we will managing to get it to green area in some way, but at the same time it's going to be extremely difficult and we might risk getting an eagle on this tough par 5. Max overpower, max topspin, and now the plan is to bounce on the fairway into the rough and roll out. But look how close we are. And we just get over there. And the thing is though, for those of you playing with Apocalypse level 5 plus, X-Mile level 9, Thor's Hammer level 6 plus, no issue. Then you go full blast using a Berserker Ball, and then you're going to end up in a situation like this. And this is going to be where you're either going to have a wood club or a long iron towards the pin, where we're going to use the fairway bounce here. And it is very important that you are not adjusting very close to the rough line, because in the end, if you just unintentionally go with a little overpower and such, you will have a problem, and then you will clip the rough. So leave a couple of range distance and then go with max side spin right and around 4 to 5 bars of topspin, depending on how the ball guide looks. We went with a little bit too few topspin bars, but we're getting it in there and we have a nice eagle putt there. But in the end, let's say that we do not have the clubs here. Let's say that we do need to lay up because we cannot go and do anything else. Then I'm gonna show you the drive that you're gonna do. Use the rock, as I think it's gonna be very perfect when it comes to using club with a good accuracy, good ball guideline. 1.5 bar topspin. Aim for the center there at the top. No reason to be close to the rough or to the sand. Maximum distance plus 10, and we adjust that, which is going to be close to 12.5 rings, and no push up whatsoever, and then just a normal shot. The thing that's going to happen here now is that we're going to land very close to the rough, which in this case will allow us to play with the sniper on that fairway pad, but from a longer distance. And that's also why I'm playing with a Berserker Ball here, to give myself the distance. And you can obviously play with a different Power 5 ball if you want to, but that's totally up to you. And that is the reason why I want to show you a different type of videos here, so you can choose yourself and absolutely be aware of that. If you try to cross the rough with an extra mile level 8 or below, don't be surprised if you get stuck in the rough. For hole number 4, we are going to play with our sniper, and we are going to play with a ball that is wind 3 minimum and also power 3. So Kingmaker, Mommy Ball, Vintage Ball, Centurion Ball, there is a lot of different type of balls that we can play. 3.5 bar backspin, and the starting process is red ring by the rough line, ball guideline to the hole, then we do add spin. And then the important part here with this hole is the wind angle. Once it's time for you to adjust for the wind, it's very important that you notice what way the wind is blowing. Sometimes it's going to blow more straight towards the pin, sometimes a little bit to the right, and sometimes a little bit to the left. And that is all going to affect the outcome of this type of shot here. We get this one to get a good camera angle, and we just missed that one to the left. So we need a little bit heavier, so we can heavier pull angle, so we can pull more to the right, or we need to compensate with a tiny bit of side spin to the right. Medium distance, 20% over adjustment, and with this adjustment you're either gonna be in or it's gonna be close. For hole number 5, it's time to give ourselves an eagle, don't you say? We use 6 bars of topspin and as much side spin to the right possible. Make sure that you have the ball guideline with the second bounce fairly close to the rough on the right. I would say approximately 1 ring would be perfect. Adjust maximum distance plus 10, and once you have done your adjustment, I would like you to push up your target into max. Even though we were very close to max now, we have still, 2 yards that we can push it up, and that's what we're gonna do. And then we take our shot and we're gonna go with a little bit of curl to the right, just to prevent us from having a very tough time if we hit great left. 354 yard mark. Second shot is going to be a very good opportunity. I do decide to play this one without any elevation and without any spin. So I'm adjusting with the ball guideline going through the hole, as you can see there really quick. And the reason I want to go through the hole is due to the headwind that we're having. We are not having like a massive headwind, but at least having some headwind. And the worst thing that could happen is if we go short. Now, I adjust this one 4 rings, which is a little bit less than medium distance. Medium distance here is 4.4 rings. So we should, in the end, now based on the result, be playing this shot 4.2 rings to be accurate here with our adjustment. Because the thing that's going to happen here, we hit perfect ball and the ball is going to be just pushed on the left side of the pin. So in the end, a minor tweak there, playing 4.2 instead of 4.4 will be the difference from making an eagle or not on hole number 5. For hole number 6, unfortunately, we will be playing a boring way on this hole, and that is only for the eagle. And I'm going to explain why after we have been taking our drive. 3 bars of top spin, and then I would like you to play with as much side spin to the right possible. And you don't have to play with max side spin here, but I would like to play with max right side spin due to the wind pushing us to the left. Maximum distance, we are 20% over adjustment. If you get into overpower, just use a tiny bit of overpower. Great left, great right, and perfect will be safe with this type of approach. But in the end, if you want to be ultra safe, make sure that you stay away from overpower whatsoever, and then you're not going to danger anything at all. And the reason we're going that way, it's because the wind. We cannot... or at least we will risk a lot if we go right hand side, where you have the bunkers on the left and the right, and that's going to be super easy to get there. And also, if we just do a bounce over and just leave ourselves short on that fairway, we're not going to have an easy attempt for that. Then it's a max curl shot, and that's going to be trickier than it's gonna be easy. So here, max top spin, max left spin. Make sure that the second bounce is at the end of the rough to compensate for the compressed ball guideline, because if we aim there, we're gonna get this ball to bounce in the center of the rough and then roll out. And that's the only thing that I'm looking for. There isn't a funnel to fall back towards the green. Sure, I could aim more left and try a rough bump there, but that's going to danger getting stuck into the rough or into the sand. 20% over adjustment, max distance number for the second shot, also for the first shot. So, unfortunately, my friends, hole 6 is gonna be as best an eagle. For hole number 7, we have another par 4 where we have a good opportunity to go and make an eagle. Here, first and foremost, I want to show you that you can actually play on the left-hand side. And I personally tried this out. Unfortunately, I don't have a good video for you, but I can tell you, if you don't have at least 11 miles per hour with a berserker ball or any other ball, you will not be able to reach to that fairway pad and bounce on it towards the green. If we're playing right side, max side spin to the left, and I want you to play with 5 bars of topspin. Why not 6 bars? It's because we do not want to get like enough distance we do get to a wedge range. We want to have a short arm range here because that's going to be way easier to dial it in from distance. Then we're going to go max plus 10, and then we're also going to push up in the end our drive, and then we're going to go with a tiny bit of curl to the left, trying to aim for a spot around 360 to 65 yard mark. Second shot here, you can see that we do have a little glitchy ball guideline, but if we leave minimum distance a little bit and go slightly more up, we're gonna find a very consistent and good ball guideline, and that's the spot that we are looking for, because this is the best possible spot on hole 7 here to get the eagle from. I do judge this one as minus 10% when I play, which is the elevation, with minimum distance of our club. The thing that we could do is to actually add a decimal here based on not being entirely in minimum distance, but that's detail. And in the end, a double great right is not something we will get an eagle on. So hit perfect, and we're gonna see that ball rolling in for an eagle. Good chance on hole number 7. For hole number 8, we are going to play once again with a sniper, and we are going to once again play with something like a kingmaker ball. Wind 3, power 3, and then it's going to be either a mummy ball, centurion ball, vintage ball, kingmaker ball. There is plenty. Once again, 1 bar top spin, 1 bar left spin. Let the red ring be very close to the fringe, but leave a little gap there. The important part here now, ball guideline. Ball guideline should be pointing basically straight down the fairway, with the tip of it being on the right side of the pin. Once done that, you're going to adjust for medium distance with a 10% over adjustment, and that's going to be a 1-to-1 adjustment. So the wind 7.3, we adjust 7.3 rings, and the ball is gonna bounce into the rough, and we're gonna roll, and we get that one in for a beautiful hole-in-one. I do believe that this adjustment is absolutely money. Try it out yourself and see what happens here on hole 8. For hole number 9, we're going to do an adjustment that I really like. You can see here that I'm using 1.5 bar top spin, max right side spin. For a 10.3 miles per hour wind, I'm going to adjust maximum distance with a 10% over adjustment. Push up to max, no overpower whatsoever, just a normal shot. The thing that I would like to tweak here is with a 10 mile per hour wind, we need to use 2 bars of topspin, and the reason I say that is because then we're gonna get more distance on the fairway here. So the thing that I'm gonna use is that I'm going to use a power 5 ball all the time. The only thing that I'm going to tweak is topspin. I don't know why I put 2 fingers up there, but I'm gonna tweak topspin, and that's going to be the thing that's gonna make me get a consistent distance on that all the time. Second shot, now I'm actually going to play for a power slice here. And the reason I'm going to do that is because we do have a lot of fairway to work on. So I'm going to use 1.5 to 2 bars of backspin. 3 bars of backspin is a little bit too much. Adjust for maximum distance with no over adjustment. Then push up to max. And then you're going to pull, in this case with Cataclysm level 8, my aim is to go 25 rings. But I would say go with more. I would say that you should, in this case with a Cataclysm level 8, you could go 30 rings. Because you will still have a lot of margin there from the rough. So rather over adjust. So 30 rings with a Cataclysm level 8. And then I would try to sit around 25 rings for Cat 7, Cat 6. And then I would say I go with a little bit less with Cat 5 and Cat 4. But in the end, we have a lot of room for error, and that's why I think a power slice there is going to be very beneficial. In the end, if you do want to go with a regular curl shot, you do that, but I doubt that you will get that ball to green, or at least you're going to might danger clipping the rough, as you have to aim very close to the rough line on the right hand side. But we need to get an eagle here, there is no doubt, otherwise we're going to lose a shot against our opponents. Thank you so much everybody for watching this playthrough for Expert. There's a lot of alternatives here. I wanted to go with higher level clubs as well, talk a little bit about special balls. Hope you enjoy it. Let me know. I want to hear your feedback, because it's hard sometimes to obviously use a setup that would be working for every type of thing. So that's why we have two different approaches on hole 2. We do have, you know, the mindset or the thought process being towards both with lower level clubs so we can survive playing a good round, but also with higher level clubs where we can actually benefit from having those higher level clubs here in Expert. The video here is sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic. Make sure to check out our website for the complete remake. Also, get the guides on patreon.com/golfclash. Tommy, good luck.